Hi, my name is Hannah, and welcome to week 1, episode 1 of my new weekly vlog, Healthy Living Together. I wanted to start this because I am recently single and really looking for an outlet and an opportunity to better dedicate time to prioritizing myself. I think it's really hard sometimes, especially in relationships, to get lost in routine and in what's comfortable and in focusing on the other person. And I really wanted to take this opportunity as a newly single woman to really realign with who I am, what I want, and create proper routines that will really help me to grow in the direction that I know I'm looking to be in the next couple of years. So this is my first time planning anything for YouTube or coming up with any regular YouTube content. So I will say first and foremost, I'm really eager to hear your feedback. If there's anything about the videoing or editing process that you didn't like, if there's content you want to see, content you don't want to see, definitely let me know in the comments. I really am open to any and all feedback and just really appreciate the opportunity to be a part of your life and spend a couple of minutes with you once a week. So I guess before we really get into what this episode or what this weekly episodes will be about, I wanted to share a little bit more about who I am. So as I mentioned, I'm recently single. I'm 27 years old and I live just outside of DC in Virginia. I have one very large dog who's snoozing on my feet right now. Her name's Callie. She's a lab mix and she's great. She's about 5 now. I don't have a ton of discretionary income. So I have a great job that I love. I am a full-time employee as a digital marketer. I do paid media advertising for nonprofit and government clients. But I will say that the cost of living in this area is pretty high. And now I'm paying for this, although beautiful, 1-bedroom apartment by myself and no longer with a secondary income from my partner. So I am going to be making some adjustments throughout these coming weeks in my spending habits and where and how I spend my money. So that's definitely something that you can look forward to, or I guess commiserate with me on. You can expect to see a lot of meals for one or meals with lots of leftovers that are easy to reheat. You can expect that I'm going to drink. Sometimes I'm going to skip workouts. Sometimes I'm going to make mistakes. This is, real life. I'm trying to be as authentic as I possibly can with this experience and want to share my journey in the realest way possible. I think a lot of times we can just see someone's very curated version of what their routine is and, how they live their life, and it becomes really hard to relate to that. I'm hopeful that this series is an opportunity for us to kind of learn together how you can create those routines and how you can do something that's sustainable. It might not be as flashy and pretty as the TikTok That Girl morning routine, but I will say I think that already after 1 week done, I do feel like I'm in a much better headspace and preparedness to move forward with this routine without feeling bombarded by all of the things that I'm supposed to be doing that I am seeing online. I also am a great cook, just to toot my horn a little bit. I will say that most of the recipes I'll be cooking on this weekly vlog will probably be pretty simple. I am very busy at my job, and although I do love it, it does leave limited time or energy to make, big extravagant meals. So you may occasionally see some of those just for fun when I'm feeling maybe more creative when it comes to cooking. But for the most part, the meals that I'm going to be making should be really easy for everybody to replicate. Okay, so now I wanted to get into what you can expect from this series. I do expect that this will be a weekly upload. So every Monday you'll get a new video with what happened the last week. That will include a plan of what I was hoping I would do, what I was hoping I would accomplish, and the actual goals at the end. What of those things did I actually meet? You can expect that my priorities are going to be focused around mindfulness and movement. I think that those are two really important things we all know we need more of in our life, and that's what I'm really going to be highlighting in my weekly episodes. I really believe in preparation makes perfect. You'll see in this first week, in the next couple of minutes, that I struggled a lot because I didn't have the preparation in place for week 1 that I now will have for week 2. So that's a theme I really hope to carry throughout, is how we can prepare ourselves in advance to make our lives easier moving forward. And then you'll also see a lot of healthy alternatives, or even just giving into cravings sometimes. I think that the healthiest thing that you can do is trust your body, listen to your body, and know your body. And this is going to be my opportunity to really get to know my body again, learn what works and what doesn't for me, listen to the cues that my body's giving me about hunger and cravings, and really trust my body and trust that it knows what it's doing to best serve me. What this is not. This is definitely not a challenge. It's not restrictive, and there's no calorie counting. So don't expect that I'll be having any foods that are off limits. There won't be any foods that, I won't be weighing things with scales. I won't be eating at certain times based on like required eating windows. It's all going to be completely, quote unquote, intuitive. This is my first time doing something like that. I have traditionally been really strict at following diets. No carbs, or no eating before 11 a.m. or, Whole30. So this is really my opportunity and my attempt to just listen to my body more. I don't think that intuitive eating is inherently better or worse than anything. I just know that my body is really tired of being on a dieting cycle. And I've spent years and years and years going through this process of restricting and calorie counting and cutting back. And I don't have the emotional strength to do it anymore. This entire series is about being healthy in all ways, not just in one. And I think for me, my mental health is just not in a place where calorie counting is going to work. So don't expect anything like that. I will be drinking, like I said, there's no restrictions. I also want to say things that you can't expect. Like I said, I'm not going to be sharing calorie counts or macros of anything, but I also don't plan to share any of my weight. I'm not going to say what my starting weight is. I'm not going to say how many pounds I did or didn't lose. I'm going to try to give everything in percentages. And then that way I'm hopeful that it's a little bit more welcoming of an approach and less triggering. I know that for me, I've watched a ton of videos on how I lost X pounds in X days, and it can be really overwhelming and make you feel like, what are you doing wrong? Why isn't this happening for me? And I don't want that to be my vibe at all. I think what I'm really trying to do here is, again, like holistic health. Weight is obviously going to be a part of that. I am not happy with my weight. My doctor says I need to lose weight. So it's very much a part of what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. But I don't want this to become a how to lose 10 pounds in X days. That's not at all what my approach is going to be about. So you can expect that I will talk about weight, but I'm definitely not going to be sharing any specific numbers with you. I also want to say that you can expect that there will be clear goals. I'll list those all out and let you know when I meet them, when I don't, why, where, how, get into the nitty-gritty of all of that. And you can also expect that the workouts and the food that I'm eating and the meditations that I'm doing are all going to be very attainable. This is not going to be some, athlete training, athletic, vegan eating. I just think that for me, that's not really the approach that I'm ready to be taking. I want something that's long-term, sustainable, and able to really make me feel better in multiple parts of my life, physically, mentally, emotionally. And I just know that being super restrictive, like I said, or doing really intense workouts that are just going to completely wear me out is not going to be a long-term plan for me. I also wanted to clarify what those goals are that I have. So I'm planning to ideally, and you'll see that this week I didn't really hit them, but ideally my goal would be to meditate 5 times a week. So ideally every weekday morning. I think that that's just really going to help establish more mental health during my work week. I'm hopeful to cook at least 6 times a week. So eating inside my own house, the food that I've already bought from the grocery store 6 times a week is my goal. I do have a little bit of an eating out habit. I'm also hopeful not to spend more than $75 a week on eating out. Kind of piggybacking on that last one, I do love, Chipotle and Sweetgreen, and I have a couple friends. I do love to go out with them. So my goal though is to kind of cut back on that. As I noted, spending is going to have to change a little bit in the coming weeks and months as I kind of realign where I am and how much I have to spend in this new kind of budgeting I have to do. So that's something that I really want to prioritize, is making sure that I'm mindful of where those dollars are being spent. I also want to make sure I'm reading pretty frequently. I have a couple books and a book list that I want to be prioritizing. I want to make sure I'm sleeping really well, getting a good 8 hours of sleep. And I'm also trying to establish a good skincare routine. So that's not something that I really am focused on just yet. These are things, I want to roll out. Things are going to change as this journey goes on. This is just week 1. So I didn't want to throw too much at myself. So I'm starting a little bit smaller, focusing on working out, meditating, eating well, and we'll kind of add things and piggyback things on as we go. My hope is that you join me in this process, that you feel inspired by any of the foods that I eat, the meditations or routines that I do, any of the journaling or journal prompts that I share. I hope that you like this, format, a little bit more weekly vlog type format rather than Sunday reset or that girl routine. I'm hopeful that we can kind of establish that routine together as a community. And I'm also hopeful that you share what you like. So if there's a recipe that you absolutely love that you think I should try, if there's a workout that is your favorite class or your favorite instructor, if there's a habit hacking or mindfulness tip that you have, definitely share them in the comments. That's something that I want to create, is a community here where we're all learning and growing among each other. Okay, and with that, I will now lead you into the week and let you know how everything goes at the end. Good morning. Today is Monday, February 21st. My coffee is brewing in the background there. Just wanted to check in and update on my first workout. It was great. I did a weightlifting workout this morning. It was all upper body, so holding this camera up is killing me. But I'm really excited about what the next couple of weeks have to offer. I didn't have time to meditate this morning because I'm still figuring out this new routine of like, what time do I need to wake up and be able to still get ready and go to the gym and walk the dog. But I was able to go on a great walk with my dog this morning, Callie. So feeling really excited kind of about, establishing that routine and figuring out what's gonna work for me. This morning, I wasn't super hungry because I had a really late dinner, just ate a little bit too much and a little bit too late. So I skipped breakfast this morning, just kind of trusting my body, and when I'm hungry, I'll make something to eat then. So today I did not do any meal prepping. I have a ton of leftovers from going out with my friends this weekend, so I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and heat up some of the, I think it was Lebanese that I didn't finish on Saturday night. This is what I didn't finish from dinner out the other night. So pretty much my entire meal, I think I had eaten so much of their bread and dipping sauce. So this is like a beef kebab with saffron rice, and I'm probably just gonna cook up maybe like half of it and then see how I feel. So we just got back from our walk. Some of us are a little bit more tired than others, but it was great. We went to the park. I got a venti chai latte with light ice and just enjoying this for a little bit. As the night went on, I decided to use my stair stepper machine while I watched a little bit of TV. I want to make sure that I'm prioritizing steps and movement, even on my workout days, and I'm trying really hard to make sure I hit 8,000 steps a day. For dinner, I had some leftover pasta and chicken. It's 9:45, which is a little bit early for, I would say, a 27-year-old to be going to bed, but get a good night's rest before my workout tomorrow. I definitely want to make sure that I feel rested and ready to take that on so that I can kind of keep this routine going. Happy Tuesday. Today was leg day, and boy was it brutal. I did squats, I did deadlifts, I had lunges, I had glute kickbacks. It was one of those days that was a little bit of everything, and I was pretty beat after this workout. I just finished my leg day. It's a lot of lunges. I'm freaking exhausted. As you can tell, I'm super red and sweaty, so I'm gonna feed her, go on a little, probably like half-mile walk, maybe at the most, and then come back, shower, and get ready for the day. Look at that. Oh my God. Yup. During my workout, I listened to a podcast on manifestation, and they talked about making a list of I am the type of person who. So I took a little bit of time, kind of list out the type of person that I am in order to really prioritize that and kind of trick myself into thinking that already. Then I had a really busy day working, so I was really glad that I was able to have that big egg sandwich for breakfast. Didn't get too hungry until the early afternoon. I was hoping to have some edamame, but I had actually been all out, and so it was a snack-free day. So dinner tonight's going to be kind of similar to dinner last night. I've got a chicken breast here, and this is going to be macaroni and cheese because I was craving it, and I think it's fair to give into your cravings now and then. Alrighty folks, we've got here some baked chicken, steamed broccoli with a little bit of butter, and thick and creamy mac and cheese. I'm pretty happy with the portions that I chose for this, and I'm gonna try to eat all my veggies first and save my pasta for last. Clearly I just woke up. I'm so sore. My entire lower half is like, it's taking mental capacity to make my legs move. I knew yesterday's workout was tough, but holy moly, it's gonna be a long day. Today's workout was cardio, abs, and glutes. So I did low, steady state cardio on the treadmill. Then I did some planks, some glute bridges, some clams, some side crunches, some crunches, just a little bit of everything here. This was a good workout. It was nice to kind of do something a little less intense than what I had done the day before. Made myself some over medium eggs. I love this little machine. If you don't have it, you need to get it. It's on Amazon. It's seriously a game changer for making eggs in the morning. And I had a little cup of coffee. Unfortunately, I had to have my coffee and my eggs at my desk today. I had a really busy day with meetings, and I also had to run to the airport to pick up an item that my dad left behind. So it's just kind of a big day for errands and meetings. Today has been one of those days. As you can tell, I've had exactly 0 time to put on any makeup. I can barely stand up or sit down. My legs are so sore from yesterday. I had a great workout this morning, and I'm really proud of myself for getting down there, even with all of this soreness. But then kind of work got in the way, and I've just been having a frustrating day. I think I'm going to take 10 minutes to eat lunch away from my desk and maybe just sit in silence for a little while, try to kind of recenter and not let the rest of the day be impacted by the crummy morning. I am pretty hungry, so I think I might actually heat up all of this and just see how much of it I can eat. So I'm going to heat this up and take some time to relax. So 3 hours ago, I heated up my lunch in the microwave, and it is still there. Unfortunately, work got crazy busy today, so I wasn't able to take time to eat, which is horrible. So I'm gonna eat some now, and then if I'm not starving for dinner, I might just do something light. I've got the leftover macaroni and cheese from lunch yesterday, and a glass of wine, and some water, and the doggy. Unfortunately, today was just kind of a blah day. Work was really stressful. Just a lot going on in my personal life and in my work life. And so unfortunately today, I wasn't able to prioritize myself quite as much as I would have liked. For instance, like not eating lunch until 5, working late. But I am glad that I was able to dedicate my morning to working out, so I was able to carve out that time in the beginning, and I was able to talk to a friend tonight. So I do feel like I was still able to find ways to effectively use my time where I had it, to be able to prioritize my mental and physical and emotional well-being. My priority tomorrow is to try to take a lunch break, or at least eat at a more appropriate time when I'm actually hungry, rather than letting the stress of work or outside forces stop me from eating when my body is ready to eat. So that's my number one goal for tomorrow. Okay, so I'm making lunch, but I also want to prep something for dinner. I meant to do this morning, but the morning was a little bit too crazy. I'm gonna make this recipe. I just call it Frank's chicken. It's nothing fancy at all, but it's something that I used to eat a lot in college because it's just super easy to like set it and forget it. Tonight we have a souffle making class with work, and so I want to have something that I can just really quickly eat between logging off and logging on to the class. So this is what that's gonna be. I'm gonna be making some brown rice for the base, and then the chicken will be cooking in a crock pot for a couple of hours. It's literally just chicken breast and a crap load of Frank's sauce. If you have it, you can put a pack of ranch, like that dry seasoning pack in there, but I actually don't have any right now, so I'm just gonna do extra spicy, maybe a squirt of like actual ranch, and cook that for a little while, and then you shred it and you put it on top of the brown rice. I typically like to have this with avocados, but because I'm out, I'll be using some sour cream for dinner tonight. Clearly you can see here that I'm not really following a recipe. I kind of just eyeball everything and cook it until the chicken's ready to shred. So since I'm kind of tight on time, I've decided I'm just gonna make like a really quick, simple tuna salad type situation and maybe have a couple veggies on the side. Unfortunately, I don't have any crackers, so it's probably just gonna be like tuna, mayo. I like to put cayenne in my tuna, maybe a couple slices of cheese. Yeah, I gotta go to the grocery store. Kind of time to restock my kitchen, so that's my lunch today. But hey, it's better than not eating until 5 o'clock like I did yesterday. This is arguably the weirdest lunch I've ever made, but it's 1 can of tuna with apparently way too much mayonnaise, salt, pepper, cayenne, and then this is steamed broccoli with some salt and a little bit of butter. And I'm gonna sit here and enjoy not looking at my computer. The chicken is finally ready and I shred it to go on top of dinner. So I just completed a souffle class and I meant to film it, but clearly I did not. I made my own souffle and it was mind-blowingly delicious, but it's also only 7:15, so I still have dinner to eat. So I'm gonna do that now. Popcorn for dessert, always. This morning I skipped the gym. I think I'm gonna take a walk with Callie later. Hopefully get still some movement in. Maybe I'm still so sore that the thought of like working these muscles again just feels a little bit overwhelming. And also my apartment is so gross that I really need to clean it. I have a friend coming over tonight, and so I want to spend a little bit of time. Thankfully, it's a small space, but hopefully I'm able to clean it up and kind of help that also clear my mental headspace today. So that's my agenda. I'm definitely not too hungry this morning, so I think I'm just gonna make a cup of coffee and take it easy today. There is seriously nothing better to me than having a clean space. It makes me feel mentally so much more at peace. Good morning. Today is Saturday, February 26th. I forgot to film what I did for dinner last night because I had a friend over. I went to Target and just picked up some like little snacky things. So we had salt and pepper pistachios, pretzel chips, a loaf of like French bread, and then a bunch of different cheeses. So I had bought a brie, a cheddar, a Gouda, mozzarella, and then some salami, some prosciutto, and had a glass of wine and just chatted. It was a really nice night. That was pretty much all that I ate yesterday. I had the charcuterie and the leftover Frank's chicken and rice for lunch. Today, since I didn't go to the gym yesterday, I'm gonna hit legs today. That was what my yesterday workout was supposed to be. And probably make myself a latte and just have a nice, easygoing Saturday. This is the leftover charcuterie from lunch even. I had a little bit more of the bread loaf. It was probably about like out to here. So maybe like a third of a bread loaf, some more prosciutto, some salami. This is the Gouda, and this is the cheddar, and then this is the brie and some goat cheese. I had a couple crackers as well, and I finished off the berries. One of my friends is moving to New York, so we went to a really cool restaurant in DC called El Teco for a goodbye dinner. All right, so it's officially Sunday, and I started this on Monday, so it is a little bit short. I'm not doing a full week. Next week will be Sunday to Saturday, and then I'll film on Sunday, kind of the regroup. I will say that I'm a little bit bummed. One thing that I mentioned at the beginning I really wanted to prioritize was prepared makes perfect, and I was so unprepared this week. I hadn't gone to the grocery store. I hadn't scheduled my morning. I hadn't figured out times. That's something that I'm gonna learn from in the coming weeks, and especially in this next week now. I've already got a meal plan. I've already, gone grocery shopping. I feel really far more prepared than I did this last week. But you can see in watching that there were days that I already skipped workouts on Friday. I already was, maybe drinking too much or eating a little bit too much, even though my body knew that those weren't things I wanted. So this is all a learning process. I'm learning, to understand those cues. I am glad that I took a rest day, especially because I did work out the other 6 days of the week. But I do think that the amount that I had drank and the amount of food that I had ate was really kind of what catapulted that. I also only meditated twice, which is such a bummer. I really wanted to meditate more. I think that this week gave me a real clear indicator that waking up at the current time that I have my alarm set is just not gonna work. It's not enough time in the morning to put in a full, proper workout, to walk the dog, to take a shower, to do my makeup, to make breakfast, and to meditate. And so unfortunately, meditation was the thing that consistently fell off this week. So my goal next week is to really prioritize a better routine in the morning that makes time for meditation rather than letting meditation kind of fall to the wayside. So you'll see that I did eat out on Saturday night. It was the one time this week that I ate out, and I spent about $55. So I did stay within my ideal range of $75 or less. I know $75 sounds like a lot, but honestly, when you consider that we're talking about DC, it's a pretty expensive area to live. And it was only one night. If I had gotten fast food another night, or if I had ordered takeout or a delivery, things could have really been racked up from there. So I was pretty proud of that. And I tried really hard to choose a meal while I was there that was not overly indulgent. So the tacos that I had were so good. But I still was being mindful about, do I really want like a whole burrito? Do I really want a whole enchilada? Probably not. And so I'm really proud of that decision that I made. I did lose about 2% of my initial original body weight this week. I do attribute that mostly to those workouts. I was really consistent with those and really dedicated in the gym. So I'm hopeful that with a little bit more preparedness when it comes to my meals that I'm eating this next week, that will kind of continue that trend. And as we move forward, I'll, include graphs of kind of like where those spikes and dips were. But I'm hopeful. It feels like a really good start to kind of already have, the workout routine. It feels like it's coming into place already. The weight loss is kind of happening. I feel a lot better about the meals that I'm going to be eating this week. And then now just finding a place to fit meditation. I think I'm going to be really pleased with what next week has to offer. So that's it. Week 1 is done. I'm really excited. I've had so much fun filming this last week, and I really look forward to doing this week as well. I'm gonna get started on making some dinner tonight, which will feed me for a couple of days this week, and I'll be filming that for next week's episode. You can look forward to weekly episodes every Monday with full meal plans of what I ate, what I wanted to eat, how much I spent, where I went, and more. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, things you want to see, things you don't want to see, please definitely let me know. I want this to be inclusive of all of us, and I'm really looking forward to this journey with you. Until next week, take care.